I've been studying wealth, finance, investing, and money my entire adult life. And during that span, which unfortunately is now over 3 decades, there is one mind-blowing concept that I'd never heard anybody talk about. I guarantee you've never heard of this anywhere. Not from a motivational guru, not from a financial guru, and not from a get-rich-quick while you lie on the beach and play entrepreneur guru. This one concept is the underlying mechanism that will determine if you even have a chance at becoming a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever your financial goals are. So pay attention in the next 9 minutes, because what you will hear will blow your mind and make you think, holy shit, it is that simple. And by simple, I mean your understanding of wealth and how to make a fortune will be light years ahead of any Joe Blow walking down the street. So here's what you need to understand. Every human being on the planet, me, you, your parents, your children, your grandparents, every single one of us has a mathematical equation attached to our back. You can't see it, but it is there, and it is different for everybody. No one is immune from this equation, just like no one is immune from breathing air or drinking water. Think of it like an invisible backpack that is holding a bunch of variables, and those variables create your equation. And more importantly, you control the variables that are in your backpack and how they formulate your equation. So what is this mathematical equation that everyone has? It's called your wealth creation equation. Or more specifically, it is how you earn income and generate wealth. If you're unemployed and you don't make a dime, your wealth creation equation is simply 0. WCE equals 0. That's the equation you've put into your backpack. Now let's assume you get a job at McDonald's making $10 an hour. Congratulations, you've just put new variables into your backpack and got yourself a new wealth equation. So you go from WCE equals 0 to WCE equals 10 times hours worked minus taxes. So if you're trying to kill yourself by working 80 hours in 1 week at McDonald's, they will pay you 10 times 80 hours, or $800 minus taxes, leaving you with about probably $680. Now, if your goal is to become a millionaire in 2 years, you would need to work 100,000 hours at McDonald's, or 961 hours every week for the next 104 weeks. The problem is there's only 168 hours in a week. It is impossible to scale your time into 961 hours of work per week. And that is key distinction number 1 and number 2. You can absolutely not scale time. It is fundamentally impossible for you to work more than 168 hours a week. It is also impossible from a health standpoint. Time or hours is normally scaled at 40. Some people will push it and work 50, 60, sometimes 80 hours a week. But the bottom line remains, time cannot be scaled. Number 2, it is near impossible to scale wages or salary. No matter if you are making $25 an hour or $25,000 a year, you cannot walk into your boss's office and plead, "Please, sir, give me a 4,000% pay raise." Key distinction number 3, the mathematics of jobs, whether it's hourly or an annual salary, does not scale wealth because your wealth creation equation is constrained by time. You cannot work 300 hours in a week and you cannot work 300 years in a lifespan. Time and mortality limits your wealth creation equation. The same concept applies for the mainstream media's sacred cow, compound interest, otherwise known as save $100 a month for 50 years and one day you'll be rich. Same thing. You cannot scale Wall Street returns, which average about 7% a year. You will not, under any circumstances, make 4,000% in 1 year by maxing out your 401k in an indexed fund. And you cannot sit around for 200 years waiting for compound interest to work. And don't even get me started on inflation, but that's another video. Which brings us to our main point. Creating wealth is as simple mathematics, while observing that you have the power to change your wealth creation equation at any time. How? Your wealth creation equation changes through your behavior, through your choices, through your decision-making, career choices, and financial management. Getting a job is a choice which carries with it an equation. Starting a business dependent on your time is a choice which carries with it an equation. Spending $160,000 on a degree in medieval literature is a choice which carries with it an equation. Choices determine your equation, and you control all of it. So if you want to get rich, change your choices so your wealth equation in your backpack contains variables that can be scaled and manipulated. For instance, I founded an entrepreneurial community many years ago. That behavior added to my wealth equation. It receives thousands of sessions and tens of thousands of page views per month. These metrics are infinitely scalable and can be monetized into ad revenue, subscriptions, book sales, a whole host of other income opportunities. I can scale and manipulate the variables. Likewise, this video on YouTube has the power to reach tens of thousands of people, perhaps millions. And it exists in perpetuity long after the video was created. Think of it this way. It works for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. YouTube views, subscribers, again, these are all variables that can be scaled and manipulated. Similarly, I'm an author. Any book I write can be infinitely scaled from hundreds of copies into millions without too much effort, except for calling the printer and saying, hey, print another 10,000. This is why unscripted, Fastlane entrepreneurship is so powerful. Entrepreneurs who follow the sense framework as explained in the Millionaire Fastlane and Unscripted are operating on an uneven playing field for wealth. If you're looking at a 25-year-old who is insanely rich and wondering how they did it, look no further than their choices, their behavior, which manipulated their wealth equation. Simple wealth equations with variables that do not scale or cannot be manipulated does not create wealth. Large equations with scalable and controllable variables does. At the present time, here is my wealth creation equation. Yes, that's actually my equation, and honestly, it's a little bit larger than that, but I don't have space to show it all. Every variable exists because I made it exist through my choices and my behavior. So change your choices to change your equation to change your life. So I'll leave you with this. Think of the way you make money as a bet on your time. When you have a job or a salary, your bet of time is fixed, as is the probability and reward from that bet. If you make $10 an hour, your 1 hour bet wins $10 in pay. Predictable, uncontrollable, and unscalable. However, when you're an entrepreneur following the sense framework, everything changes. From the size of the bet time to the size of the reward. Rewards can be unlimited, and the rewards can continue to come long after the bet was made. You can make this a reality when you acknowledge that you control the simple mathematics that govern your ability to create wealth or not create wealth. What is in your backpack? Change your choices, change your equation, and then you get to change your life.